Hey everybody, it's Behind the Sermon and it's Tuesday and we welcome you to this rendition. I've got my friend Charlie Welke. Charlie preached yesterday. Mike is in India still returning with his son Caleb. They're on their way back, and Charlie preached from Psalm 84. And Charlie, I'm going to dive right into what I perceive to be your critical theme, which was longing. I'm going to give you a statement and just let you respond to it as a preacher. And I'm going to lay this over recognizing that you've preached to kids, you've preached to young adults, college students, the whole rest of us who fall in different categories. Here's the statement. There's a difference between what we want and what we really want.
Yeah, I think the language in verse 2, especially of Psalm 84, is what kind of gets at that longing, or that, I think he says fainting, my soul faints.
Yeah.
And there is something that there's a longing that knocks you off your feet, stops you in your track, takes your breath away. You feel it deep in your bones, and we kind of talked about that a little bit yesterday at Christmas time. There's things you need, you really want them, but it's like the way we kind of express it even sounds different. And so I think we know that there are different levels to longing, that there are some things we just want, and there are some things we really, really want.
Okay. Charlie, here's my question. This is more of the practical preaching side. Again, I'm shaping it around that idea of longing, helping people to grasp what they're really longing for. So here's the question. How should a preacher's approach change depending upon his audience? Again, the theme of longing. You did it yesterday. I thought you did it beautifully. How does a preacher, let me read it again. How should a preacher's approach change depending upon who he knows is listening?
Yeah. I think in light of longing, there are seasons of longing that we long for different things. Right. And I think that's where, especially for a child getting close to Christmas, the thing I want more than anything, a Red Ryder BB gun, maybe to say, but the older you get, whether you're a parent, whether you're married, whether you have older kids or younger kids, whether you're single and in a career, there's something that you want. And I think that's the challenge with a broad audience, like our adult audience, is that you may have a 23-year-old who just wants a job, and you may have a 73-year-old who wants their grandchild to come to know Christ.
Right.
So all of us, I think, resonate with the idea of wanting something. And in a sermon like yesterday, you kind of try to pick different segments of the sermon to maybe attach to a different piece of your audience.
Okay, let's end with this, Charlie. I'm just going to make again a statement and let the Spirit churn inside of you what He wants to. I loved the end of this sermon. It's not that I didn't appreciate everything else in front of it, but I thought it was a home run at the end. Very Christ-centered. So here's the statement. Speaking to a broader audience requires the preacher to make constant sacrifices. We give up certain illustrations. We give up certain word choices. Maybe a particular form of humor. I just want to get you to respond to that. Speaking to a broader audience requires you to make a sacrifice.
Yeah, I think, and even in our meeting earlier in the week, we had talked a little bit about, I felt in my soul, and thinking and working a lot with young adults, I thought that contentment would be a really strong piece of this sermon, that somehow when our primary longing is satisfied in Christ, it results in contentment in every other area of our life. And so the more I sat with the sermon throughout the week, that contentment piece just kept migrating around the sermon, through the sermon, and then eventually out of the sermon entirely. And so I think that was probably a piece where it resonated with me. It resonated with maybe young adults who maybe have a more restlessness in their position in the world and in life. And so I think that was a piece that eventually I just thought, man, that might be too narrow of an audience for that, but that's it was a moving piece, I guess, that didn't land. But
well, Charlie, I'm going to tell you, this was a magnificent sermon. I hope our viewers get a chance to watch it, and I want to thank you for stepping in like all of us do sometimes when Mike's away. Thank you, brother.
Thanks, Ricky.
Have a great Tuesday. We'll see you. Bye-bye.